Howdy, howdy, fellas. Got a World of Warships Legends match today, and the Huron again. Now, I know I've put out a few videos on this thing already, so, just bear with me. This is, I think, pertinent because it is available, but also, just the more I play this zombie build, whew, the more ridiculous it is to me. And I'm also kind of revising my opinion on Huron up a little bit. I had said that maybe the Haida was probably better, more consistent. I think that's probably still true in the sense of it's easier to get more out of. Uh, but these three 20% speed boosts on Huron are really nice, and the spicy AP is, I like improved pin angle, spicy AP anyway. Pretty much any ship that has it, I enjoy. I tend to like AP better than HE anyway. And this destroyer with this build, ooh, we got just a lot of good matches. I have gotten myself, I've bitten off more than I can chew. That's definitely a caveat with this build, is you can start to feel invincible, and you're not invincible, you're just really close. So we're just kind of aggressively coming over to this side. One of the things about the speed boost is they're only 2 minutes, so blowing them early I don't find that useful. I was hoping this guy would turn out to launch, but he is smarter than that, and so he just stops nose in. In retrospect, and actually I even kind of debated it in this match, is do I continue out and then turn left, turn to port to get my nose on him and get my sonar, or do I back up? I was thinking, I don't know what else is out here. If there's another destroyer, or maybe the cruiser that kind of came in on a line that I couldn't quite see. Again, because the ship doesn't have smoke, if you get caught way out in the open, actually in the middle range, if you're way out in the open, you're fine because you're fast enough and tanky enough, you should survive. But that 6, 7, 8 range, you can definitely go down in that. And so that salvo was woof. I've had a pretty good day as far as games go, but I've also had a bunch of intermittent lag. I think sometimes the servers just can't quite handle everybody playing. So yeah, I don't know if that was just bad aim or the lag, but here we see a old free ship looked at him just coming around the corner, and I'm like, all right, he's not going to have a ton of space to get out of the way of these. He might beach or something, but I'm sending these torps in, and we're just going to see what happens. Otherwise, I want to get nose in so I can kind of chew him up, and sure enough, he eats all 4 torps and goes down. Death strike. Straight out of the gate. I've said before, that is one reason the Friesland isn't any better than it is. It doesn't have that ability. Even though the torps on this Haida, Cossack 38, they are by no means amazing, but just having them is beneficial often enough, and you'll see that come into play later, that I think that's one of the reasons that the Friesland, I think it got S tier in the recent tier list. I really don't think Friesland is S tier. I think it's extremely good at what it does. I think it was S tier at one point. I just don't think that's the case anymore. It just can't withstand a push the same way that other destroyers can. And here we have the first instance of just oh, I know what. The Huron is like a honey badger. I don't know if anyone, I'm sure actually the age range of this game is old enough. You guys have to remember the honey badger, right? The Huron is a honey badger. Huron just does not care. I don't care what ship you are, I don't care what you're doing. If I can get in close to you, I don't care. Honey badger doesn't care, Huron doesn't care. Even this, one of the things that I've started doing is I don't blow the heals early because it's kind of there's no point. I tend to save them for either if I'm, out far with, out of the regeneration range, or I've got to fire something that's not impacted by that, something like that, or I just am within regeneration and taking range, but it just feel like the amount of damage I'm taking, I need like just a little bit of bump up, and so I use it that low, and that's what I was doing there. And it works really well, and so yeah, we just absolutely wrecked this flank. It wasn't totally solo, we did have some help and, you know, like some distraction on the other ships. That's one thing that it's important to remember, like, there's a difference, even though I feel like I did most of the damage output on this flank. There is definitely a difference between being totally solo, because the other ships can just focus all their efforts. Talking is hard. They can focus all of their efforts on you versus not. I'm talking here. Orkin W has smoke. I actually forgot. I was just totally shocked in the match, but I need to go check. Orkin W has smoke? What? I hadn't even looked at it because it's like, whatever, it's an Orkin, but they give it smoke. I honestly did not pay attention at all because it's like, Orkin's fine, but it's just not. I've played the normal one. I didn't even realize, but cool. I need to go actually check that out. Kind of blew my mind there. Yeah, and here I'm a 4,000 health destroyer, just charging a Bismarck, because why not? Why not just charge a Bismarck and gain health? I mean, like, this is nuts. This is absolutely ridiculous. Really, like, once I am in this range, he's gonna need some kind of help and, you know, some RNG on his side. Maybe if he knocks modules, he is kind of doing the right thing. Like, he's got to buy some time, buy some stuff, and that can't. Oh no, my secondary! I actually got a secondary kill. I think today. It might have been yesterday, but I got the secondary kill. I don't think I saved it because it's like, you know, whatever. Nottingham here. Oh, you see to get here. I'm doing it again. Getting the heal, watching out for fires and stuff. But also, like, I'm kind of just chewing up this Nottingham. He, I think, is putting out more damage than the Bismarck is, and then, like, okay, Bismarck's firing. I'm trying to space my nose in just to limit the amount of damage I'm taking. Not overall, but rate. And that's, like, kind of the fundamental difference with these zombie ships versus really any other ship. Not maybe... The British battleships have a bit of this, is where you have to be more cautious about your rate of damage intake than your total damage intake. And so that's really what I'm looking at there, is just trying to minimize, or at least limit, limit the damage as it comes in. We take a big whack there, but then it's like, again, the lower you go. So really, if you're fighting one of these, you have to, like, jump past the damage threshold. Like, you really don't want to space out your damage. You want the big whacks, the big spikes of damage. Otherwise, this is what happens. Like, you know, they've done enough damage, but they didn't do it all at once and didn't get it in time before the resistance kicks in, and then I start healing back up. So, just for what it's worth, and outrange the regen. So, there's Huron. This is a Kraken win, and 3,200 XP. Yeah,